Chat, welcome back to another edition of ET Encounters. This has become kind of a segment where I just talk about UFO stuff, alien stuff, weird stuff, whatever it may be. I like this kind of thing. And Octopulla has made another segment. It's ET Encounters and Mystery Meats. Soon we'll get to Mystery Meats, but first we have to get to pants.
Filmed in Colombia and shared on social media in 2021, this resident and their son are filming their rabbit. Suddenly, something strange runs past in the background. Looking closer, there appears to be a pair of legs running down the street, with no upper body attached to them. The bodiless legs run past the wall and disappear into the darkness. Is this just an optical illusion, an elaborate prank, or something more ghostly?
I think it's ghosts. I'm sure it's ghosts. You know what happened, chat? In my reckoning, there was a ghost that got into the clothing, wore the pants, got caught, and then ran away quickly. Note, this is not part of the pack. I added that. So. Anyway. So, thank you, Octopulla, for making this pack. We've got some potential aliens here. These are the Fresno Nightcrawlers. These are adorable, sussy amoguses. Wow. That's how it starts. They've become quite popular, and many people have claimed to see these beings. So, 2007, Fresno, California. That's the one you just watched. Jose was woken up by dogs barking. He looked at a security camera, saw the first part, found tiny footprints in the yard. 2011, Yosemite National Park, California, USA. A retired couple were having trouble with break-ins on their property, so they bought a security camera and pointed it at their driveway. According to sourceless legend, Nightcrawlers come out of California's forests. The natives said that they learned to coexist with these beings and that they had come in there... Wait, no, that they had come there long before people. Oh, very different. Statues were also created to indicate that people were willing to live in peace. So what are the Fresno Nightcrawlers, if not just a pair of pants? Oh, well... I guess that explains it. I have a feeling I know what they are, chat. Two old dudes in England. Looking at the footage, it's definitely a little weird. It's disturbing a little bit, because, you don't want to see that. And, you know, obviously, if we're going to be talking about aliens tonight, we have to forget about the public access segment that I showed earlier, where it was just a bunch of people doing the worst UFO discussion ever. But, I mean, you can remember it if you want. I go into these with a bit of a skeptical mind, because I got to a point in my life where when I see this, I think someone's having a laugh. But just for tonight, we can be heroes. I know. Just for the moment. Just imagine that there is some strange, giant, leggy creature like this. That we just have never really seen, aside from a couple people, and aside from some very grainy footage. I don't know what I would do if I saw that, chat. Would I kick it in the shins? Or would I run the other way? Captain Disillusion did a video about this, so that's some extended viewing for anyone. I haven't seen it, but I'll watch it eventually. I enjoy Captain Disillusion's videos. But yeah, that's the thing about any of this stuff. They look friendly. I would recommend kicking them in the shins. Alright, chat. This is very interesting. This is the Potosi Sheep Slayer. 1968, Potosi, Bolivia. Llama and sheep herder Valentina Flores was bringing her livestock in for the night when she noticed a plastic-looking net covering one of her pens. Under the net, a small person was attacking and disemboweling the sheep with an unusual hooked instrument. It had very white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, and flowing mustache. Wow. Flores started yelling and threw rocks at it. The creature stood up and expressed shock and fear. It went to a radio-like device, which absorbed the net. Flores noticed another identical being and started running. It then flew away, leaving its friend behind. Flores entered full battle mode and struck the creature with an iron-tipped cudgel on the face. The being screamed in pain and started bleeding. It tried to shout something, but she didn't understand. It then threw its hooked instrument at Flores, which only caused her slight wounds and returned instantly. Flores struck again, hitting its right arm. The creature then quickly collected its equipment and escaped in the same way as its friend. The Bolivian military collected all 63 carcasses, as well as samples of the creature's blood. The sheep were missing multiple internal and external organs, including their eyes, ears, portions of their mouth, as well as belly fat, and all of the blood were gone. Other ranchers in the area had reported similar cases. So, this case seems... that's very disturbing, and it kind of reminds me of the cattle mutilation stuff that we've heard about. But, it's weird. This comic makes them look like little fellas with jetpacks. It's really... I mean... Again, this is just a description of the fellas. But, you know, in a way, you have to wonder, why would someone even make something like this up? You know, and if there's... Again, I'm just reading a thing from a notepad here. I'm sure there's some way we could do a little bit of research on this one, but it makes me wonder what happened to those sheep and why these fellas were, like, looking like Gazoo from the Flintstones, which, as we all know, chat, when they introduced Gazoo, it was Gazover. And, what are they doing with that blood and those fat? I don't know. Peru alien attack. Okay, we got some more jetpack stuff going on here. 2023. Alto Nane, or Nane, Peru. Local people claim they have been attacked by 7-foot-tall armored humanoids for months. What? Many people had face-to-face encounters. They call them face peelers. Humans and animals are found with faces surgically removed. All the way down to the bone. They appeared at night and in pairs. They had black body armor, elongated helmets with yellow-tinted almond-shaped lenses, and they were surfing in the air on circular, completely silent hoverboards. They arrived with a UFO and then used these hoverboards to fly down. Their shoes had 2 discs, and they were able to hover and jump over houses. Bullets didn't seem to have any effect on them, even with point-blank shotgun blasts. One guy managed to grab one of them, but got zapped with a laser pen and now suffers from a heart condition. One girl got kidnapped by 2 of those beings and got cut marks on her neck. They were using a powder mixture on her face that was to help remove skin. One of them spoke perfect Spanish and the other one had a broken accent. They speak Spanish? They started panicking when guards noticed them and the guards were able to save the girl. Government explanation was that these were illegal gold miners using jetpacks. The fuck do you mean jetpacks? Locals believe these to be ETs or organ harvesting cartel members. Okay, listen. That's pretty different. Why don't bullets affect organ harvesting cartel members is my question. That's what I want to add to the conversation. They fly now? There's a multinational military practice at the same time as the attack started. Coke and armor, says a chat member. Jokes aside, though, chat, I remember hearing, when I was younger, there was a classmate of mine that talked about this alien video that he saw about, like, this family that defended their house against aliens, and it was later proven to be just, like entertainment, you know, but it was found footage, like, Blair Witch-esque, and, the things, that scared me about that when I was a kid, afraid of aliens, sorry, Norts, was that apparently the weapons didn't work on them. But now I know it's body armor and cocaine. Still, though, could you... Look at these people forming a militia. Jeez.
The fuselage of the craft is shaped somewhat like an acorn, with the narrow part being the nose and the wider part the aft. They're about the length of a private jet, but much wider, and in the place of wings, they have small, rounded protrusions which fold open and deploy a series of rapidly blinking...
That's a sunfish.
...lights. The craft have been viewed hovering above the village at very low altitude, some 30 to 40 feet, and have no apparent propulsion systems such as engines or propellers. In one case, the craft appeared to be completely transparent, and two pilots could be seen sitting inside. Like the circular platforms, the craft are completely silent, except when they accelerate, at which point they make a low-frequency hum.
Well, they have sunfish-shaped bullet craft that don't have propulsion systems of note. It's definitely drugs and cartel members. Or...
They said, bring the video back up, and then we put them side by side, the insectilin and whatever it is in the video, and we played it back, and there's just all of them. There's probably 5 guys standing behind us, our Navy guys and the villagers, and they're going, that's it, that's the same thing, that's what's there. This insectilin picture, that's it. That's what we're looking at. Look at it, it's moving its head. You can see the light on its eyes. And we told them, we don't know what this is, but maybe it's this. There's a possibility, we don't know. And up until this point, our security detail, these Navy commandos, were cool as a cucumber, right? They were hearing all of the accounts, all of the testimony. They were with us the whole time. We would discuss it with them later on. They heard everything that was said in the village, the pelacadas. They were there when we interviewed Talia. None of that fazed these guys. These guys are very professional. None of that fazed them. But after they saw that video, I remember Henry, who's a jungle survival instructor, Henry put his hand over his mouth like this. And he's just looking, and he goes like this. He said, now I'm a little nervous. That makes me nervous. Now I'm a little nervous. There's something in that video. He said, I think... Go ahead.
He immediately told Paris to get the flashlight.
That's right.
And start walking around outside. Immediately.
Listen, I'd be nervous too, but I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who these guys is, but I do know that if I saw spooky bullet craft and strange hook monster aliens or whatever, well, they didn't, I don't think they had hooks, right? But yeah, oh, one had a laser pen. Sorry, there's a laser pen. Yeah, I'd be a little nervous. Lalo Salamanca, yeah, a little bit. Hang on, here's what's going on here.
Incredible new footage has surfaced that may prove extraterrestrial life exists.
Oh, that's definitely real.
Reportedly filmed in a remote Peruvian jungle in 2018, shows a slender, 6-foot tall humanoid with pale skin, eerily walking between trees. The creature's oversized head, long neck, and spindly limbs resemble descriptions of the alien greys found in supposed eyewitness accounts. The man who filmed the being did so discreetly while hiding behind foliage. too frightened to approach it. The video's poor quality adds an air of mystery, making it impossible to conclusively identify the strange entity. Yet its clearly inhuman characteristics provoke fascination. Is this finally evidence?
No.
We are not alone in the universe?
No.
Or an elaborate hoax? Share your opinion in the comments.
In the comments. I don't even know where this video came from. But, it says, sorry, I was too lazy to find the original video. That's fine. It's a scary little fella. Spindly limbs. I always remember spindly being used to describe aliens.
Incredible new...
Yeah, I mean, that would freak me out if I saw that in real life. It's just moving through the trees like that. Are you kidding me? Is there a reason why aliens never wear clothes? They've evolved beyond the need to hide their junk. In fact, they've evolved beyond junk. I ain't never seen an alien penis. And I've been looking. We've seen lots of videos of little UFOs and alien fellas, and the better the footage is, the more it's fake. The worse the footage is, the more it's fake. The only way people are going to believe any of this is if they see it with their own two eyes. And I'm getting to that point too. This is a really fucked up looking creature. And I don't like it. Did you ever hear about this potential evolutionary trait that we humans have to kind of, we have evolutionary traits to kind of protect us from certain creatures, stuff that we may see in the corner of our eye in the middle of the night, like snakes. We've evolved this kind of not sixth sense, but we kind of have this like ability to recognize certain shapes in the darkness or like movement, and we know that's like a fight or flight. It's time to run. And one of the things I read years ago that stuck with me, and take this how you will, is one of the reasons the gray alien face is kind of scary, or at the very least is unsettling, is because maybe we had them in our past and we evolved to fear them because they were a fearsome threat in our past. Whoa. I read that. That's a thing I read. You probably looked that up somehow. I will tell you personally, I just think they're great. I love aliens. But when I was younger, I did have a pretty nasty alien phobia that kept me up and gave me like my first anxiety because I had read these books and watched shows about aliens, and I was like, we can't defend against them. We're fucked. So, anyway, let's continue. This one is the Varginha, I'm not sure how to say this, UFO incident. 1996, Varginha, Brazil. College professor, I've heard about this one. I don't think I know the full story. College professor Carlos de Sousa witnessed a submarine-shaped UFO the size of a school bus, leaking white smoke on its back and wobbling in the air. Crashed and thin aluminum foil spread across the field that had a shape memory kind of thing going for it. Immediately afterwards, the military showed up and soldiers started screaming at him to go away. Soon after, a large military presence descended on the town, cordoning off several blocks and preventing anyone from entering. People started reporting strange creatures running in the town. They said that they had seen small, hairless creatures with oily brown skin, large head, large red eyes, and a foul smell. They referred to it as a devil. One witness said it appeared to be sad, scared, and suffering from the heat. It had a V-shaped foot and made little bee-like sounds. According to local military and civilian witnesses, the army captured 2 of these beings. Police officer Marco Chereze grabbed these beings with bare hands and was taken afterwards to a hospital. According to the doctor, he talked openly about these events because he feared he was dying. He passed away later from a generalized infection that would not go away. The beings were taken to hospital for observation, were then transported to a military base. The bodies and crash debris were appropriated by the United States. According to the government investigation, it was just a homeless man nicknamed Mudino and a couple suffering from dwarfism. Okay. You know, gotta get him in there, chat. Gotta get him in there. I don't know. I mean, I've heard of this case before, but I've not actually looked into it. I kind of want to watch a video about it now because it sounds really weird. And maybe I have. Maybe it was on the Y-Files or something. But again, I am kind of a trash compactor for UFO information in that I can watch a video or a documentary or listen to something about UFO stuff, and it's interesting in the moment, and then I forget all the details. But I love how all this crazy shit is happening, and it turns out it was just like a homeless guy. Like, of course. UFO 1. Let's take a look at this video here. Random cool UFO I came across while looking at this stuff. This was apparently verified by the Turkish government. So that could mean a couple things. What does verified mean exactly, right? Did they just say, "Hey, no, this is real"? I'm looking to see if I can... Is that an alien? What if you are really looking at a being from another world right now, chat? Crazy. That's a Martianito, confirmed. It says here, another UFO, no idea where. Well, that's helpful. When I see UFOs like that, yeah, I can't help but think it looks too good. Like, it looks too... There's too much detail. It looks too real. So I immediately get extremely skeptical. Though there were the Phoenix Lights... And that was like stuff that was witnessed by fucking, what was it, tens of thousands of people. That one's a pretty famous incident. And I think that one, they were like V-shaped craft, which people were then saying was a stealth bomber. Or, you know, there's also very high potential for a lot of UFO stuff to be related to just tech we don't have, or we don't know yet, rather, that we have. But I know the truth.
I'd like you to meet a new acquaintance of mine. Some people think he or she or it just recently arrived from outer space.
So this is fucking Alan Alda. It says here, Scientific American Frontiers with Alan Alda, Beyond Science, 1997. Ironically, there are edited versions of this claiming to be real. Okay, so now... The public access segment is going to really tie into this segment.
Others aren't so sure. On this edition of Scientific American Frontiers, we're going to try to find out what's real in science and what's not.
Chat, I want that.
Join me now
alien.
as we venture into the realm of pseudoscience.
I've talked about this alien autopsy. Jonathan Frakes covered this too.
Military installation somewhere in America.
Let me just preface this with, this scared the ever-living shit out of me because this was featured on like network television in like '95. And I remember I could not stop thinking about this because it was just when I was getting fucking severe anxiety from aliens and having like a fear that it's real, I'm going to be abducted, I'm going to die. And then they're like, we have an autopsy. I'm like, you fuckers. It's just what I needed.
2 Air Force pathologists examined the body of an alien being. A few weeks ago, the alien spacecraft crash-landed in the New Mexico desert.
I don't think it was this exact one, actually.
By a local rancher. All wreckage and alien remains were quickly impounded. All details are now classified top secret.
This isn't the original. This isn't the original.
An cameraman has been called in to document the autopsy of one of the aliens. It's an event of the utmost importance. The first evidence of a visit to Earth of beings from another world.
Oh.
The alien is clearly advanced. It no longer needs large teeth to eat. The size of the skull indicates a highly developed brain. And the eyes appear to be protected from space rays by special
Don't worry, Chad, this isn't real.
It is 1947. To avoid public panic, the government suppresses all word of this historic event.
It's a good prop. It's okay. The one that I saw in the 90s, the one that's famous, the famous alien autopsy, actually does look pretty disturbingly real to me.
But Scientific American Frontiers,
or it did when I was younger. I haven't seen it in a while.
A copy of the film. Well, all right. Disregard everything I just said. Actually, we faked the whole thing in a Hollywood special effects house run by Steve Johnson, who played the other pathologist in the autopsy.
Alan Alda had nothing better to do today.
Thanks. Good to get out of that.
You're telling me. Got a few new wrinkles on our faces.
This is the alien autopsy film that we were mimicking. First shown on TV in the early 90s, it was accompanied by the same kind of claims we just made for our alien. To special effects people like Steve, it's an obvious hoax, and not a very good one. It looks more like a tailor's dummy with no apparent structure like a skeleton to hold it up. Somehow, the cameraman never manages to get the close-ups in focus. And whenever there's any interesting action, like opening the skull, a convenient shoulder obscures the view.
The biggest thing that made the other one false is that there is absolutely no sense of weight to it. I mean, if you remember, they're kind of pretending to look in the mouth. They just do this kind of thing. They kind of pretend to examine the head, as opposed to doing what we've done here, really being able to see weight.
Look at this fucking thing. I want it so bad.
That's one thing that really makes this much more believable, because you can pick it up. You can really see how a body would react. It is just as hard to do as it would be in reality.
In science, there's a useful doctrine called Occam's razor. It says the simplest explanation is probably the right one. That means the only aliens around come from Hollywood.
Now, the bone doesn't seem to have any marrow in it, but that would only be...
Getting picky, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm beginning to believe that this is not a real alien. What made you make the teeth like this?
We wanted to have some degree of interest inside the mouth, so we made teeth that were vestigial.
So these people apparently have evolved to the point where they
interest.
drink their meals out of a can.
That's right.
Or they take a pill once a month. This is a boring life. No wonder they're out exploring other planets. They have nothing to live for in their own planet.
Thanks, Alan Alda. Oh yeah, just pull the guts out in the credits. Just laughing about it. Someone said, Vinny, have you ever seen the Alien Autopsy porn parody, which has a girl that looks like a real gray? It looks similar to this, except, you know, the whole UFO porno thing. Chat member, I'm gonna say this to you, and I want you to listen very closely. Of course the fuck not. I have not seen the Alien Autopsy porn parody. Anyway, let's continue. Area 51, the Alien Interview. This I think I've seen. Okay, this is an hour and a half long, so there's no way we're gonna end up watching this. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. This also has Bob Lazar, who is not related to Rem Lazar.
physicist named Robert Lazar went public with the stunning claim that the United States government...
Why do I know this actor?
...was test flying disc-shaped aircraft of extraterrestrial origin at Area 51. Interviewed in silhouette by a Las Vegas TV reporter, Lazar, calling himself Dennis, claimed to be employed at a site on the outskirts of Area 51 known as S4, where he was part of a team attempting to back-engineer the saucers to discover the secret of their
X-Files and Blues Brothers?
System.
Oh, gotcha.
It was a very sleek, thin-looking, flying saucer-shaped craft. There were 9 total. I only got to essentially work, back engineer, or analyze one of the craft. It's very plain. It's all one solid color, a grayish pewter color, the same color as the outside of the craft. There are no sharp corners anywhere. Every device in the craft, the seat, the amplifier housings, everything has a rounded corner on it, almost as if it was all fashioned out of wax and then slightly melted, so everything curved, even where the ceiling meets the floor on the end. Everything has a curve to it. Very, very plain, very wide open, very impractical use of space.
Vinny, if you get the two confused, remember one of them makes Magical Imagination World for children, and the other was in that Red Letter Media episode. It's very good, chat member. I wanted to believe this stuff.
And there are 3 levels.
When I was younger.
Level houses the amplifier.
Now I don't really care as much, but I think his story is weird and interesting, and he continues to tell the same story, as far as I'm aware. So
fires themselves that swing, the 3 of them. The center level is where you enter the craft, where the seats and the amplifiers are. And
he looks like 80s John Carmack from id Software.
The top level is a small area, and I did not have access to that, so I don't know what's up there. Absolutely alien craft, there's no question about it.
Well, you heard him, chat. So yeah, the Bob Lazar stuff is interesting, and he's got, like, he left the alien program because he tried to take his friends, like a dumbass, to go see the UFO stuff, like, by Area 51, and they caught him. If I'm remembering this correctly, like, he brought a bunch of friends in the middle of the desert to a secret location. And then he said, wait here and you're going to see lights in the sky. And then they caught him. They were like, okay, you're done. And then he decided to make a tape. And that's it. And he keeps telling the story. So it's interesting, at the very least. We've got here, I'm going to skip ahead a bunch because, again, this is a lot, but we've got some alien recreations, or it's alien recreation. Maybe it's like baseball for aliens.
Installation in Nevada. I'm not sure as a prisoner or a guest, and he had this on tape.
As we've already heard from Sean Morton and others, this is not the first time allegations have surfaced that the U.S. government is playing host to extraterrestrial biological entities,
it's
or
real.
EBEs.
That's real.
The first and most famous alleged contact was the Roswell flying saucer crash of 1947. This is the incident from which the alien autopsy footage supposedly originated. But there have been persistent rumors that not all of the aliens retrieved from the Roswell crash were dead. The final fate of the survivors,
there's enough, man, how many fucking
unknown.
aliens have these people, or anyone, have they recreated the alien autopsy? Jesus.
2 years later, however, in 1949, another alien is reported to have survived a saucer crash, and this being, known as EBE-1, was taken into custody and kept at a safe house. EBE-1 supposedly suffered from chronic health problems, which the doctors of the time were helpless to treat.
Look at him. Of course.
According to a controversial, possibly fraudulent briefing document dating from the Jimmy Carter administration,
possibly fraudulent,
EBE-1 was interviewed by means of pictographs, from which it was learned that he came from the Zeta Reticuli star system.
Can we eliminate one or more of these categories from discussion?
Well,
The laborious process of developing a set of symbols that could be used and understood by both human and alien amounted to the creation of a new language. If such an effort was made, it represents the greatest achievement in linguistics since the deciphering of the Rosetta Stone.
Some say that the language remnants are still with us and have seeped into pop culture, chat. Have you heard the terms skibbity, Riz, Ohio, phantom tax, northern lion, Rizzler?
That such an achievement would be kept secret illustrates the hysterical paranoia of the time as the Cold War intensified under the threat of nuclear annihilation.
Yes, I will speak to you about my people.
The so-called Carter Aquarius briefing document states that EBE-1 died of unknown causes.
I died of a broken heart.
On June 18th, 1952.
Like that Star Wars movie.
Skeptics who doubt the authenticity of the Carter Aquarius document find it unbelievable that highly advanced alien beings would allow one of their own to die under the primitive medical care of a species that had barely begun to conquer its own diseases.
Chicken nuggets.
But as we will hear, there are those who claim that to the aliens, death is not a final end to be feared, but a mere transition.
It was in the late 40s and early 50s that the U.S. government's policy toward UFOs was formulated. Publicly, there was Project Blue Book, which made a great show of gathering data on all the major...
Chat, what is this actor's name? He was in X-Files. I just want to know his name, because I think he was in a movie I really like.
UFO sightings.
Stephen Williams.
Finally declaring them all to be hoaxes, mass hysteria, or swamp gas. But
it's always swamp gas.
There may have been another policy at work. Over the years, several documents have come to light which seemingly confirm that a clandestine group, Operation Majestic 12 Group, aka MJ-12, was formed by special classified presidential order on September 24, 1947. For the express purpose of gathering
Jason Goes to Hell
on UFOs and extraterrestrials, while at the same time keeping such information not only from unfriendly powers, but from the American public as well. If indeed
entity, EBE-2, voluntarily became a guest of our government, allowing himself to be examined and interviewed.
Hello, I have returned. I am a new
In this scenario,
entity.
Area 51 became, for a time at least, a sort of extraterrestrial embassy, the setting for mankind's first attempt at diplomacy with beings from another world.
Beings from another
Different
world.
sources disagree as to how communication was established.
All right.
There is universal agreement that the EBEs
Why don't you smoke
are
a cigarette with
incapable
us?
or unwilling
Prove
to speak
you're an American.
human language. In addition to the pictographs used by EBE-1, it has been reported by Falcon that in the early 1950s, EBE-2 was fitted with some sort of artificial voice box, allowing him to speak words, and that he learned the English language very rapidly.
Okay.
Other sources doubt this story, however.
Who's those sources? I want to know who they are. I want to meet them.
By our kind, do you mean we Americans?
What has been reported most persistently is that the aliens communicate via thought projection, or telepathy.
They would have been tortured, made to give up their secrets, instead of questioned in this friendly manner.
We cannot be forced to communicate.
Has it been tried? Not by us.
We speak to who's ever willing to listen.
The idea of telepathic communication with alien beings carries with it the same doubts and controversy attached to telepathy itself.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's okay, Chad, because there was more aliens that showed up at this base. Someone in chat said that the end of this VHS gets real nutty.
the question by saying, quote, I really want to steer away from that right now, unquote. In subsequent interviews, however, he admitted catching a glimpse of two scientists talking to a strange short figure with long arms. He also reported seeing several documents that seemed to contain first-hand information on alien civilizations.
Damn.
Lazar is skeptical of a claim made by Falcon that a group of EBEs have been given complete control of a separate base within Dreamland. But he does admit having read a report of a tragic misunderstanding between military personnel and alien beings in the late 70s. Lazar states that it had to do with bullets the MPs were carrying, and that the bullets might explode, possibly due to a field the aliens had generated in that area.
Well, yeah, of course.
This encounter supposedly resulted in the deaths of all the humans involved by head wounds.
Massive head wound Harry.
But if there was ever a large-scale alien presence at Area 51, Lazar saw no evidence of it.
Shadow.
That the copying of tapes at Area 51.
The physicists and engineers are frankly frustrated.
I'm frustrated too, trust me, because this is great. The more I see of alien stuff, the more I just laugh lately. It's unfortunate.
Hard when they find out not only how much they don't know, but how much they aren't.
This is the alleged leaker. Okay.
What else has the alien communicated?
Oddly enough, the being seems to have a much easier time communicating spiritual concepts.
Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. So is Grey Leno.
It's a vehicle, a vessel. And the vessel must be maintained to serve the spirit.
I believe him. I want to see. I've seen this. Chat. This one's real good. Hang on. You're gonna like this one.
You're dealing with beings whose intellect is so far beyond your own, I don't think it's safe to assume they have your best interests at heart.
What about the content of the tape segment you brought?
As I said, this is late in the series. In fact, it's quite close to the end.
Because of his unwillingness to reveal his own identity, Victor's story stands or falls on the credibility of the tape he supplied.
This tape actually frightened me when I first saw it, and I don't know if it's going to do the same. It's been a while, but
here,
have fun with it.
Exclusively for the first time anywhere, is the uncut, uninterrupted alien interview tape, shown in its entirety in real time.
Listen, when I saw this stuff as a kid, you know, it's dark. There's a head peeking out from the darkness. It says, "Do not interact, 27, 4 p.m., whatever." I mean, let's be real. They are putting spooky music to this. Wow, Vinny, you were a gullible child. I was 9. Probably a little older when I saw this. I mean, it didn't mean... I live with this guy now. He's my roommate. It didn't mean that I was going around, like, losing my sanity, thinking that an alien was going to show up every day. But my imagination was a little overactive, and aliens happened to be one of my fears. So whenever I couldn't not watch these things. I ended up watching as much alien stuff as I could because it's like, well, why do you watch horror movies? Same reason. I mean, I never saw an alien. I do live with one, but I haven't seen one other than him. Oh yeah, now the alien, I think, is coughing. and they have to step in and be like, listen, what did you eat? Do you need Tums? They just start, like, they just start putting Tums in the alien's mouth. But, you know, when you see something like this and you're younger, it's just, there's so little to go on, you know, and look, he's dribbling. So I think my imagination took over and I started thinking, that's gotta be a real alien. Has to be.
You removed the soundtrack from the tape before you turned it over to this program.
That's correct. I can't allow the voices of the project personnel to be heard by the general public. There's a very good chance their family or friends on the outside might recognize them.
Isn't your purpose in releasing this tape to expose Area 51 to the world?
Well, why not just do the voice changer like you're doing?
My purpose is to expose the existence of the aliens, not compromise these individuals.
You get the idea. Anyway, there's then they just analyze this. I've seen this whole thing at some point, I'm sure. Like I kind of, was that Art Bell? Yeah, it's Art Bell. Then it's just people like, yeah, like Rick Baker, I think, and a bunch of other people talking about what they think of it and whether or not it's real. And then more spooky stuff. And then what was that? What was that? There's a spooky thing I saw there. Is that fucking Dick Cheney? I keep seeing like one frame of like, well, whatever that is. The interview with Victor at the end is really unhinged.
Passion. As I intimated on the Art Bell interview, my involvement with S4 and the Alien Interview Program did come to an end in 1997.
Suddenly fly.
And I have not been involved with the Black Ops program for more than a decade. However, I have been in contact with certain individuals who are still involved in attempting to make sense of the information that was gathered.
Anyway, chat, we could watch this the whole night, and it would be kind of fun, actually, but I think I'm going to move on to some more alien stuff. But, I mean, whether or not you feel this is a complete joke, it's kind of fun. It's I gotta be honest, it is kind of fun. And it really holds no bearing on my life. Whether Martianitos are real or not, that doesn't really matter. But I did enjoy watching this shit as a kid. And it's still fun to watch alien autopsy footage, even as an adult. Here's a real alien. It says here, photo of a similar looking alien was taken by a security guard in the basement of an abandoned building in Nuevo Leon, Mexico, 2004. Okay. Fella. What would you name this fella, chat? Duende, real. It is real. He is looking for chips. He's got a camel toe. You didn't have to say that. Chatley. His name is Dad. Kremrold. Samuel Garcia. Eek. Grinwald. Thank you. All right, let's continue. Here's Skinny Bob. First video appeared on the internet in 2011. Has weird editing and fake timestamps added to it. No one has claimed credit for creating this video. I don't know if I've seen this. Here, I'll do the thing that they do in the documentaries. Was that Robert?
When I saw the alien, I knew I had to take video footage. When I worked for Area S5, I smuggled this tape out. I had to hide it in my asshole for years. Luckily, the film wasn't damaged. This is Skinny Bob. We were lovers. I never loved anyone like I loved that alien. But my duty to humanity was more important. We had kids together.
Sorry, Chad, I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom for a second. Did you hear any of that? Here, okay, let me go to the bathroom again.
What I said was, me and that alien were lovers. And I smuggled the tape out in my ass. We had a family together, but I knew it was my duty to humanity to smuggle that alien tape in my asshole and bring it back to the people.
Alright, I'm back from the bathroom again, chat. Did anything happen?
Now, how are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? You feel well? Go and get you something? Do you want a glass of water?
So this is an early internet thing from, I guess, 2005, well, early-ish. This is Rubber Johnny.
We're not really getting anywhere, are we, at the moment?
An experimental short film by Chris Cunningham and Aphex Twin, 2005.
What's the matter? Do you want Mama to come in?
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. It was definitely weird. We're gonna combine the ET segment with the mystery meat segment. Vinny the Bulge. Well, Rubber Johnny is worth checking out. If you're at all interested in that, just Google Rubber Johnny and you'll be able to see the whole thing. But it was a thing that made the rounds on the internet for quite a few years, I remember. So maybe worth your time to watch that nonsense. But yeah, that's the alien segment. I feel like the alien stuff, there's so much to it. There is so much. Any of the cases of, like, actual alien fellas here on Earth is really hard to believe anymore. Because there's just too many. And it's so easy to fake. But there are weird things that people see once in a while. I have friends. I talk about UFOs once in a while with friends. I've talked about it with family. And, you know, it's not that hard to find someone who saw something strange. And even if that thing is a known thing, once in a while, I hear a story about something that just does not make any sense. And even if only 1% of those, let's say, are anomalous, that's enough of a mystery that makes things interesting. So maybe there's just drone stuff now these days, or could be like technology that we have that we don't know we have. But I do still kind of believe that there are too many unknowns, too many unexplainable things, that we do live in an interesting and mysterious world sometimes. I've said this before in previous ET segments. I do border on skeptic, but I think I do want to believe like Mulder. And I do think maybe there's some stuff that we have not been able to explain satisfactorily. Satisfactory? Oh, that's a good game. Satisfactorily. Is that the right word? The truth is somewhere. Let's move on to mystery meats, also from Octopulla. Note. Okay, you're gonna see some weird stuff. If you don't want to see strange meat gelatinous things that are maybe explainable, maybe not explainable, then maybe don't watch this. However, I would say that there are some, I'm looking at the thumbnails, there's some pretty fucking funny meats up ahead, so. The Cameron Village Sewer Blob. 2009, Cameron Village in Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. Sewer pipe surveillance camera discovering a pulsating meat blob. These are explained to be bryozoans, chaperones, or tubifex worms. You are now peeping the horror, and I find this, I've seen this video before, this is actually quite disgusting. Someone said, "Oh boy, am I glad I just sat down for dinner." Let me tell you, if you're not hungry, you will be after the mystery meat segment. There's probably some alien creatures in the sewers. This is what happens when you buy flushable wipes. They're not flushable. But yeah, no, we just got pulsating meat sacks in some of our sewers, no problem. Just under our streets, under our feet. Just, you know. It's cool. Hate it. Absolutely hate that. Star jelly. Star jelly is a translucent gelatinous substance believed to be found after meteor showers. These are explained to be vomited frog spawn, slime molds, fungus, and many other similar-looking things in nature. 1846, Lowville, New York, United States. Luminous object left behind a heap of foul-smelling luminous jelly that disappeared quickly. 1994, Oakville, Washington, USA. Gelatinous blobs rained multiple times and made people and animals violently sick. 1996, Kempton, Tasmania, Australia. Meteor was reported flashing across the sky. The next morning, the white translucent slime was reportedly discovered on the lawns and sidewalks. So, okay, are the meteor showers causing the frogs to vomit? What are they putting in the meteors? This information is not satisfactory. And I don't know why it's raining like blobs of jelly. There must be some more to this. Angel hair. Whoa, that's really weird. Okay. Angel hair is a phenomenon where usually after UFO sighting, a strange cobweb-like substance falls to the ground. After several hours, the substance vanishes completely. When held in the palm, the material quickly turns into a gelatin-like substance and vanishes. The substance is referred to as angel's hair by Americans, salacious cotton by Italians, and the Madonna's present by the French. Junji Ito wrote a story about this. Of course he did. That's great. It's a fibrous substance that could withstand a lot of stress and torsion. When heated, it evaporates and leaves behind transparent sediment that melts away. Sediment consisted of boron, silicon, magnesium. Professor Cozy speculated that it could be boron silicon glass. Individual fibers were less than 0.1 micron in diameter. Spider web is about 3 micron. Wow. Physical chemist Petrayanov Sokolov said it is unlikely to have been created by nature. These are believed to be web threads of spiders that migrate through the air, and the UFOs were giant swarms of spiders. I need water. Oh, I'm fine. I just got some meat. Chat, I'd take the UFOs over the spiders. 1952, Oloron, France. Town people saw a cigar-shaped UFO accompanied by 30 red sphere objects. These smaller UFOs moved in pairs and dropped a white salacious cotton which covered tree branches and roofs. Similar event happened 10 days later in Gaillac, France. 1954, Venice, Italy. 2 UFOs were flying high speed over the city, leaving behind a fiery white trail. They made a U-turn and headed towards Florence, where the football match was played. They had to stop the match because the players and 10,000 fans stopped to look up at these things. The UFOs flew 3 times over the city, then vanished. The mysterious substance started to fall over the arena and the city. Fuck. That's weird. 1978, Samaru, New Zealand. A large number of sticky fibers fell from the sky for 2 hours in the coastal region. This is what I'm saying, like, whatever the fuck this shit is, you know, if you have 10,000 people in a stadium and it's raining white, like, substance, and it's just like, what is this shit? That's so fucking weird. Like, there are so many things and again, that's assuming all this information is correct, which I know it's then the easiest thing to go back and say the information is incorrect. Fair. But, there's just so much, like, weird random shit that we don't know about if this is happening. Weird things flying in the Milwaukee sky. Chat, hello? They got me, chat. They got me. I spoke about the meats, and they knew that I knew. Actually, I mega crashed, trying to show you a video, which is, in and of itself...
Are those fireworks?
Conspiracidal. It's a conspiracy, chat. Here's the video I tried to show you before everything crashed. Weird things flying in the Milwaukee sky. 2018, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of Red Letter Media. Similar looking things were caught Fox 6 news camera around 4:43 a.m. No weird goo reported other than the usual. These were explained to be seagulls.
What is that?
Look like some fireworks or something. What the heck
What is that?
Those are like plot sperms. I feel, yeah, Nomura from Square Enix probably invented those. Seagulls? Why do they have tails? Or trails? Maybe the camera's broken? If it's seagull, that's weird. Could be just a shitty camera, but very weird. Purple mass. 1950, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. 4 police officers saw something resembling a parachute at treetop level drifting down into the field. Flashlights made the strange mass give off a glow and sparkle. One of them tried to pick it up, but it dissolved in his hands. The blob evaporated after 20 minutes. This was the inspiration for the sci-fi horror film The Blob in 1958. Okay. Wow. Bob the Blob. Someone was saying that the
Those fireworks?
the cars at the bottom of this one
Fireworks?
were also blurry and had trails. Not to the same extent. Yes. Yeah, I can see it. Yep. You are correct. That plus maybe like a floodlight. So yeah, shitty camera. Russian alien body, 2011. Irkutsk, Russia. Oh, I'm probably not saying that right. Alien body was found in the snow following reports where villagers saw a pink and blue glowing object crashing to Earth. It was investigated by the government, but they found no evidence of an aircraft crash. Police started investigating the body, and accomplices confessed that they had made the whole thing up using breadcrumbs packed into chicken skin. I mean, it is appropriately disgusting. That is 100% a meat, and I hate it. But they put a lot of effort into creating that. It's pretty creative, actually. They should probably hire those guys for practical effects. Get them on the thing, too. We do know what that meat is, so I wouldn't call that an anomalous mystery meat. Brazilian alien body. 2011. Itajuba? I can't read this. Itajuba, Brazil. Family dog started barking in the middle of the night. In the morning, the dog led them to an alien body. They were afraid to touch it and left it there. It started smelling horrible, and after a few days, it disappeared, leaving behind a black emerald goo. It is. Look how small it is. It's like fully dehydrated. And then it just dissolves into goo. Melpert is like all dry and shit. Damn. What is a black emerald goo? I have no idea. I would say, though, there's a sadness to this creature. And I want to help it. But I cannot. It is just a pathetic sack of meat. The soul's vessel to exist within this atmosphere. To exist within the third dimension. Not built to last. Animated by a wretched soul. Red River Gray. 1992, Red River, Quebec, Canada. Snowmobilers found a frozen alien corpse. They didn't want to touch it, so they used a rope to lift it up. They didn't dare to take the body with them. And when they returned the next day, it was gone. It had anatomically correct details that were close to a human being. You know, these aliens always end up missing. It takes 1 or 2 or 3 days, and they just disappear or turn into a black emerald goo. Why are they always naked? Well, like I said earlier, these wretched souls have no need for clothing. They've evolved past Melperts. They have no shame. The skin is what keeps them warm. I don't think any of these aliens ever plan to leave their craft, which probably has a perfectly temperature-regulated interior. Why would they need clothing? They're perfectly comfortable at all times. I'm just making that up, but who knows? Maybe I'm telling the truth. Pepe frog. Get the fuck out of here. (2009) Petrozavodsk, Russia. Marta Yegorovna found an alien body among the burning wreckage of a UFO. She kept it for 2 years in her fridge, not the freezer, before telling authorities who took it away, who then took it away for further studies. That is insane. Chat, look at its little arm. That fridge had to smell like rancid shit. Do not eat anything in that fridge. Even day one of this strange little Pepe frog alien being in the fridge. My God. I'm disgusted. I am disgusted. Space pancakes, 1961, Eagle River, Wisconsin, USA. Joe Simonton noticed a silver craft landing outside of his house. It hovered over the ground and a hatch opened. Man wearing black two-piece suit came out holding a jug and indicated that he wanted to fill it with water. Maybe a telepathic message? He had piercing eyes and Joe couldn't look at him. Several others could be seen within the ship. Joe brought them water and they started cooking on a flameless grill. They gave Joe 4 space pancakes and then took off. It tasted like cardboard. I mean, depression ring, more like depression meal. The U.S. Air Force studied the pancakes, and there was nothing special about them other than that they didn't use salt. They concluded that Jim mistook a dream for reality. One of them is exhibited in the United States Air Force Museum at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. No fucking way. Space pancake. I mean, this is what I got from Googling space pancake. Also this. Space pancake, Wright-Patterson. I'm not finding the exact space pancake, but yeah, that's really interesting. Okay. Flying hot dog. Oh boy. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Alright, read image. Flying hot dog. It looks more like a pickle. October 20, 1966. If police are the most reliable witnesses, what can explain the report of patrolman... Patrolman James Tate and 2 other policemen who saw a huge hot dog with many lights hovering over Patchogue, New York, for an hour. Well, you know, they were hungry. You know, listen, strange things happen when you're hungry. You know, you're on duty, you're bored, you look up, you see a big hot dog. Turns out you were just at Rutt's Hut in New Jersey. Did you know there's a fucking hot dog man statue that I've seen in like 2 or 3 separate... Chat, this hot dog man... You want to talk about the real mystery? Let me show you the real mystery. I've seen this hot dog man in so many different places. Seaside Heights, upstate New York. I've probably seen it in Wildwood. I don't know if it's in Wildwood. I'm just saying. I feel like I've seen this hot dog man everywhere. Turns out, this is a mass-produced hot dog man. I feel lied to. Because when you see something like this, you're like, oh, that's creative. That's kind of fun. Right? Someone locally made the hot dog man. There are dozens, if not millions, of hot dog men around the United States, possibly around the world. They're always doing the same shit. Maybe they have a slightly different paint job. Maybe they're even a little bit broken. But these hot dog men are the true conspiracy. So don't ever be fooled by them, and don't go to a glizzy location if they have this hot dog man, because you know what? This is commercialized hot dog man and not true art. So I just wanted to point that out. This is one of those things that you just notice. And it's like, wait a minute. I know I've seen that hot dog elsewhere. Bonus sea squirts. Sea squirts and skeleton panda sea squirts. There's no information on these fellows at all. But, I mean, I gotta be honest, chat. That top right image makes it all worth it. So I think that is pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So, I mean, not really a mystery meat, but I didn't... What's that noise? Huh. I didn't hear anything. I would eat the space hot dog, or maybe even the space pancake. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you, Octo, for another bizarre segment. I liked the mystery meat segment because it was so weird and different. And again, whether or not you believe any of this stuff, I do sometimes believe that people believe they touched a purple fluid that then inspired the Blob movie. And I don't know what all of that meat was. I mean, we know some of it was chicken. But the fact that there are strange threads that sometimes, like, fall on people after a UFO sighting, or, like, a meteor shower leads to goo on the floor, that's just bizarre shit. So, you know, I mean, it would be nice to say all of this is just fantasy. All of it is science fiction. But I do sometimes wonder how much of it is just people making shit up for fun. How much of it is some kind of, like, complete break from reality? Or do we exist in a universe where meat is real? I don't know. All right, chat, that's it. Sunday stream's over. Thank you for watching. This was fun. And, yeah. Yeah, it was good. Some interesting things to be seen tonight. I'm going to be dreaming about alien meat and public access TV shows and squirrels with guns. This week, I'll be playing some stuff. The usual stuff. Maybe we'll even get some Abiotic Factor in. But I want to play maybe a little bit more Visions of Mana. I want to play more Squirrel Game. Maybe I'll finish up that randomizer run for Resident Evil 4 Remake. And just check out a bunch of other random shit too. Including maybe more Nintendo Championship. So, yeah. So that's, and tomorrow's Labor Day. So I will be live for Labor Day. I mean, today was the Labor Day stream, but I'll be live for that too. So, you know, you sing the song, you cut the watermelon, you eat the hot dog, do whatever you got to do for Labor Day. You know what I'm saying? I'll show you something real quick, chat. In light of the Oasis reunion, my YouTube recommendeds kind of have been Oasis themed a little bit. And I clicked one, and it's DVD commentary of the Oasis videos and Noel Gallagher watching these videos and basically talking about his experiences, but mostly saying how much he hated them. And there was one moment in particular that I really enjoyed that I'd like to leave you with.
And I bet they cost a fucking fortune. Robbie Williams based his entire fucking career on this song. That's what I hate about this. Is that a man with legs made of sausages? That's not real. Someone's having a fucking... I know for a fact that's got nothing to do with this song. A man with legs made of sausages. Are they masturbating that? That's a bit fucking suspect, isn't it? That's not real, jumping out of that plane. Fucking hell. This is fucking nonsense.
Good night, chat.